9T, Michael Bendetti requests the archived city meeting videos be made available in a more easily accessible format that is shareable, downloadable, embeddable to support increased transparency on openness in government. Mr. Bendetti, just give us your name and city of residence, and you get three minutes.
Thank you. I'm Mike Benedetti, a Worcester resident. I'm speaking to I don't know which one. Speaking to the item that I'm speaking to. Speaking to the item about archiving city videos online. I think it's fantastic that city meetings are available online. The local press provides an important service by reporting a summary of what goes on at these meetings, but sometimes there's no substitute for going back to the original. A few small changes would make the archived videos more useful for citizens. These features are familiar to anyone who's watched a video on YouTube or who's watched a video on a non-profit alternative like the Internet Archive. The video player we use uses a format that makes things difficult for anyone who's using a Mac, an iPad, a phone to watch the videos. Choosing another format would make the videos easier to watch with no downside. People should be able to link to a specific part of a meeting to tell their neighbors this is the bit you need to see. People should be able to download a meeting to their computer, similarly to say to their friends this is the clip which is important. People should be able to embed these videos on their blogs so they can continue the conversations that happen in this chamber. Videos should be posted online in a format that plays nicely with Twitter and Facebook. We use fantastic equipment to tape these videos. The videos should be put online in a very high quality and not, unfortunately, the low quality that they're available in now, where it's sort of hard to tell which counselor is which. I'm very proud that Worcester follows best practices in so many areas of government, and I hope that we can soon begin to follow best practices in archiving our public meetings. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll refer that to the manager. All those in favor, opposed, so... Councilor Lewis?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, we have a yellow sheet in front of us speaking about Sunshine Week, and there are several items on here. In fact, all of the proposed items I think are worthy of our attention. Some of them I know I filed, some of them other councilors have filed. I still have an item pending about a process for dealing with records of the mayor after they leave office. I know I was the target of somebody who falsely accused me of destroying all the records when they've been sitting in 2 file cabinets that keep moving around the building. I don't know where they are now.
Have them back anytime you want.
Where are they? They were in your office for a while. So I think all of these items under future proposal items should go to rules for further hearing.
Yeah,
yes.
we can do that. I think that's probably more appropriate, Councilor. So I'm going to change that then on 9T, we'll send that to rules. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Yeah. Councilor Rushing, you want to speak on that?
Just on 9T, I mean, if you're Kim Kardashian, you're not going to want to be videotaped in the city council chamber because it's not going to show anything good. I mean, this might be the lowest digital feed that you probably could have. So, and it just through the chair to the manager, if we can get a report on it may be too expensive to do, but what's the cost of wiring this in a way that people can hear online what's being said? Sometimes you can't hear properly. You can't. You know, it's such a distant picture, you can't focus on what's going on. So part of watching it on TV is seeing what's going on in the meeting itself. And I think most people would agree that the quality of the video stream itself is not up to par. So I don't know if there's some major improvements infrastructure-wise that need to occur that might be cost prohibitive. But if we could get something in preparation for this coming budget, thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. 9U, Joe Scully requests the creation of public records and data retention policy regarding the use of social media technology to support increased transparency and openness in government. Mr. Scully, this name and city residence.
Joe Scully from Worcester. As we continue to get more networked online, the city is engaging with its citizens via Facebook. Several departments have Facebook pages. that allow for communication from those departments, and those departments receive communication from the citizens. I think that it's important as we move forward to have a sound policy about the data, that communication between Worcesterites and their departments that will be in accordance with public records law. So that we know who said what, if there was information that would be valuable for counselors, for department officials, or for neighbors, to have that information and to be able to find it at some point in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Scully. We'll send that to rules. Those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Christopher Robarge of the American Civil Liberties Union of Massachusetts requests City Council support the passage of state legislation to promote freedom of information, open government, accessible public records, including measures to minimize the cost of accessing public records and improve the use of information technology to make government information publicly accessible. Mr. Robarge, this is your name and city of residence.
Yes, my name is Chris Robarge and I live in Worcester. I have a resolution which I believe Councilor O'Brien is going to submit to the council, and I will speak on it now. I'm proud to be here before council as a part of the local coalition working to promote Sunshine Week, which is an annual event serving to stimulate dialogue about the importance of open government and freedom of information. I'm here both on my own behalf as well as on behalf of the American Civil Liberties Union of Massachusetts in order to respectfully present a request for passage of a resolution supporting freedom of information, open government, and accessible public records. Massachusetts public records law has not been substantially updated or expanded since 1973. I'm sure I don't need to explain to council all of the massive changes in technology that have happened in the intervening 37 years. Communication between members of government, as well as between government entities and citizens, now occurs via Microsoft Word documents, PDFs, emails, instant message, text message, social media, and more. Our public records law desperately needs to be updated to reflect these changes and to initiate protocol that can both regulate and support the usage of modern technology more effectively. These technological changes also offer a great deal of potential in terms of making access to public records easier, both for those requesting the records and for those responsible for providing them. The fact that our city's checkbook is now online is a great local step in that direction. That the Worcester Police Department now posts recent incidents on an interactive map is another promising and recent example. However, there are more that can be done and more that should be done in terms of utilizing information technology to maximize access to public records. Finally, public records are only as open as the public's ability to pay for their record requests. Making more records available in digital format will help, but records that must be retrieved manually should be made available to the public at a minimized cost if they cannot be provided for free. I am not asking council to resolve in support of any specific pieces of state legislation. I'm simply asking that the council support promoting freedom of information, open government, and accessible public records, and for the general support of state legislation that would further these basic but important concepts. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll send that to Rules and Councilor O'Brien wants to speak.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just real quickly, and I apologize because I know Mr. Robarge had submitted a resolution for the council to consider, so maybe we can enter that into the record, and if we can't vote on this week, potentially next week, since I don't think it did make into our packet. So I at least want to read the resolution so people are aware of it, and maybe we could actually bring it back forward next week. It says, the City of Worcester, whereas March 11th through 17th, 2012 is recognized as Sunshine Week throughout our country and the Commonwealth, and whereas the freedom of information is essential for a healthy democracy, and whereas the Worcester City Council is in strong support of greater citizen participation in Worcester's civic life, and whereas the Worcester City Council believes public record laws and open government must be supported and strengthened, and whereas the Massachusetts public record law has not been substantially updated since its passage in 1973, and whereas the Worcester City Council believes that excessive costs should not be a barrier to public records access, and where the public records law of the Commonwealth should be updated for the digital era with an eye towards technological changes for the last 40 years, now therefore be resolved that the Worcester City Council strongly supports the passage of state legislation to support freedom of information, open government, and accessible public records, including measures to minimize the cost of accessing public records and improve the use of information technology to make government information publicly accessible. So I'm not sure whether folks would be comfortable not voting on that resolution tonight or would like another week to kind of consider it. I'd kind of leave it back to my colleagues. So.
We can do it tonight if nobody opposes
Unless
it.
folks have any.
Okay.
And I apologize, I thought that was in the packet, so I apologize for the.
If nobody opposes, we'll roll call it then.
Councilor Economou?
Yes.
Eddie?
Yeah.
Jermaine?
Yes.
Lukes?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
O'Meara? Rivera?
Yes.
Rushton?
Yes.
Russell?
Yes.
Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty?
Yes. With that, we'll send that to Rules and Legislative Affairs. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Jeremy Shulkin requests the establishment of a ombudsman or a point person to handle all requests by individuals or media outlets requesting information on any city department, and that this employee's contact information be easily accessible on the city's website to support increased transparency and openness in government. Mr. Shulkin?
Hi, Jeremy Shulkin from Worcester, Massachusetts. Thank you very much for your time and listening. I'm here sort of as my own person, but also from Worcester Magazine. What I'm asking for is a clear and easy way for media, the average citizen, and people from maybe a business or nonprofit who's looking for more information from the city to have a very clear way or a clear person to who they can submit a records request to. The city's made a lot of strides in the last, especially year and a half, with transparency, and I think this is a very easy, it costs no money gesture to show that to the average person, the average citizen who might not know how city government works, information is just as accessible to them as it is to a large media outlet. All we're simply asking is that there is a person who is a point person for any incoming records requests. So we wouldn't have to hire anybody. It's not creating a new department. It would just be on them to take the records request from the person, from the citizen that's emailed to them, and then find out who and what department it should go to, whether it's economic development or parks or the police or DPW. Simple as that. It's something that should take no extra time and no extra money. So I'm happy to talk about it further if you want later on, but
Sure.
simple as that.
We'll put that to committee. You can go to the committee meeting.
Exactly.
Discuss that. So we'll send that to Rules and Regulations. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Come to the microphone. Ms. Hart, is your name and city of residence?
Joe Hart, Worcester. Well, I'm pleased with all of this activity, but I think a lot of people are missing the real basics. We're talking about high tech. I want low tech. I want City Hall unlocked. I can't tell you how many times in the past and 2 weeks ago where the front door was locked. This is outrageous. City Council knows about it because the night I was locked in, I came up here and told everybody because I didn't want to go out the back door. A month ago, I had to go out the back door because I would have missed the bus and it would have cost me a $15 or $20 cab ride. I had to run around in the pitch black all around to be sure I that I got the last bus. Somebody should take care of the low tech, please. It's a matter of keys, I think, not even cards. The other thing I would like to, by the way, I support all of this, naturally, of course. I'm very pleased everyone did this. But I would like to stress let's please not use the word citizen because we want to welcome everyone. Worcester is full of foreign students, universities. It's also full of immigrants. So I would like to change the word citizen to just person or persons. Thank you.
Thank you. Those are all going to committee. And Mr. Russell's chairman of that